Welcome back, everybody. Halloween breakfast for dinner. Why not? And here to crack the code is friend of the show, Andrea Bucket.
It's good to see you, Elvis.
Good to see you. Deviled egg, you.
I am a deviled egg.
Priscilla?
Yes.
Have you met?
Hello.
Hello, Priscilla.
Witchy Poo, have you met?
Thank you for coming to my wedding. And thank you for bringing treats to us.
Oh, yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah, we got to cater the wedding later, you know what I mean? So let's start with deviled eggs.
Yeah, so
It's Halloween.
Yeah, we're going to lean into eggs because they have a good source of protein. They have like 6 grams of fat. It's really great to set your kids up to go out
That's an
of the
excellent
house,
idea.
right?
And kids, most of them like eggs, right?
They do.
Sometimes it's hard sell.
Deviled eggs, George, we were just talking about how delicious the deviled
They're
eggs
my
are,
potato chip.
right?
I can't stop it.
And I know eggs can be overwhelming when you go to the grocery store. Just honestly, just look for the Canada Great Egg symbol. That's all you need to look for, and that's all you need. They're super healthy. So these are our deviled eggs. Now, obviously, you can make whatever mixture you want, a little bit of mayonnaise, and then we've just adorned them with some olives.
Oh, those are all
Olives to make the spiders, okay?
Now I get it.
I'll show you over here. Actually, Elvis, do you want to make one of those little spiders? You're going to take one of the middle of the
I'll make
olives
one from Priscilla.
and just pop it on top there.
You did wash your hands, right?
I did, darling.
But it's really
Always keep
easy,
it
and this
clean,
is
you know?
something that you can get the kids involved in. This is also something nice to do. Some kids actually don't love to go out for Halloween. My nephew likes to give out
You're
stuff, right? And this is a fun thing to do for them to enjoy Halloween as well, to do something at home.
Nope, you're missing a leg.
I'll keep it at 4.
Perfect. That's our little spider deviled egg. You could also do this when you boil the eggs. You put a little bit of blueberries in the water, you crack the shell, and then it comes out looking like this gorgeous little spider web, right? So that's a lot of fun for the kids as well.
Looks like a brain, too.
A brain. It could be a brain or a spider web, either way.
I think we should try this.
Yes, dig in, honey.
Famished, haven't eaten.
Made it just for you.
Perfect. Perfect little protein snack. The next we have here is little cutouts of pumpkins and ghosts. These are egg tortillas, so a little bit of an omelet, some cheese.
Okay.
You put the egg in the pan, you cook it up, and then you could just do little cutouts. You could use cookie cutters if you like, or you could just make your own little cutouts to make these sort of pumpkin, ghost, and goblin tortillas.
So it's just your basic egg between, right?
You got egg and cheese. I mean, you could put some bacon in there, Elvis. Right? Bacon and eggs go together.
Now you're speaking my language. A little bit, peanut butter and maybe some red eye gravy.
My favorite.
Oh man.
It's protein too, you know.
Yeah, exactly. A little bit of
Witches.
protein. The egg's good in protein, but if you want the rat, go for it.
And it wouldn't be dinner without some sweet to hand it all with. Huh?
So these are really cute. These are just little snickerdoodles that are sandwiched with some cream cheese frosting. And then you can decorate them with, little eyes, googly eyes, some little chocolate pastels, and make it really fun for the kids. Of course, they could do this inside as well, but this is also great grab and go. So if they're going out to trick or treat, sometimes they come in halfway through just to grab a little snack and pop it in their mouth. They can do this, and as long as they're going to have all that candy, they might as well have a little bit of protein.
You're right. The balance is really important because they are going to be just loaded, and not just now. Let's be honest.
A week or so, right?
And, depending how much stuff they get when they go out, right?
And if they
Kids
hide
can
it
get a
under
lot,
their
and they
bed.
hide it.
What
Right? They hide
have
it
you
from their
got in your
parents.
mouth?
And then again, some people like a different kind of protein. Oh, take a look at this. Take a look at what's going on over here. I don't know what's happening.
Are you sure you don't
those
prefer a
choppers.
little
Not
deviled
invited
egg?
to our wedding. Elvis, he is not invited to our wedding.
No, 100%. Unless we need an exterminator. How do people get in touch with you, Andrea Bucket, for more eggs?
By Andrea Bucket,
recipes?
Andrea Bucket Cooks on Instagram or andreabucket.com for all these great egg recipes.
Andrea Bucket,
Yeah.
friend of the show, thank you so much.
Well, technology powering ventures into space while they are arriving at breakneck speed. However, there's one important factor that needs to be addressed, and that's how humans physically and mentally prepare for those harsh conditions of being in space.
And that's the basis of Why Am I Taller? What happens to an astronaut's body in space? And joining us live now is Dr. Dave Williams, former astronaut and co-author of this book. Dr., or I should say David Williams, thank you for joining us on this show. Look, you're the only Canadian to perform 3 spacewalks. Your resume is enough to intimidate and overwhelm anyone because you're also an ER doctor, a pilot, now best-selling author. So from your personal experience, did your body change in space, and what prompted you to want to write a book about this?
Well, there's absolutely no question. As a physician, you know and you understand the changes that are taking place in your own body. I got taller when I was in space. I'm 6'1" on Earth. In space, I was 6'2 3/4. Wow. You feel, when you come back to Earth, gravitationally challenged. So all of these changes that take place in our body are important as we contemplate sending humans back to the moon and ultimately onto Mars.
So, you know, it's interesting, you know, when you think about this, Doctor, and you get into it in the book, the idea of the different sort of changes the bodies go through. How much of a potential roadblock is this going to be to the potential for more regular space travel for, you know, people like us who aren't trained astronauts, but who just want to, you know, get sort of above and beyond, as it were?
You know, we've learned a lot over the last 60 years of flying humans in space, but it's quite mind-boggling to think that we've had humans permanently in space on board the space station for the last 22 years, rotating these crews through and understanding how their bodies adapt. The future is different, though. The future will be going back to the moon, a 3-day voyage to be able to get there, and then we'll be having humans living on a lunar habitat. So understanding the effects of radiation, understanding the effects of long-duration space travel beyond low Earth orbit, these are all lessons that we're going to be learning over the next 20 to 50 years.
And Dr. Williams, in this book, we get to meet a few interesting characters, including one of them is the first twin to spend a year in space, another astronaut who got stranded on a space station, and a woman who performed 3 very challenging spacewalks. So what has their experience taught you about, you know, the big question, which is how our bodies will fare in partial gravity?
Well, we learn a lot about the physiological changes, the weakness that we get in space, the importance of exercise, the bone loss that we get in space that we have to reverse when we come back to Earth. But more importantly, we also learn about resilience, how to work together in an isolated environment for long periods of time, how to be able to get along as a crew to accomplish these really complex objectives.
I mean, this seems like crucial stuff because, you know, we only have one planet Earth, but I mean, space, you know, is sort of that next frontier, the idea of, you know, potentially one day maybe having people living up there. This is all really important knowledge, isn't it?
Well, it's really important knowledge to be able to go forward to explore space. It also helps us on Earth. In fact, in the early days of the pandemic, when we were all isolated at home, for me, it felt very much like being in space on board the space station. And the wellness protocols that we use in space, I was using them at home to be able to thrive in this unique situation that we're all facing.
Yeah, that is interesting, too. You definitely bring another level of experience to something like that. Of course, we hope we don't have to live through something like that again, but we've definitely learned some lessons. Dr. Dave Williams, former astronaut, co-author of this new book, Why Am I Taller in Space, or Why Am I Taller, pardon me. Fascinating read. Thanks so much for joining us here on CP24 Breakfast today.
Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you.
The simple staple sandwich is a delicious, popular choice for a quick, easy, personalized meal. Just in time for National Sandwich Day, that's tomorrow. Chef Paul Lillikus is working with Oroweat Organic to celebrate all things sandy by recreating a classic recipe with a twist using the new to Ontario Oroweat 22 grains and seeds thin sliced bread. There it is, delicious, pre-packaged, and we welcome Chef Paul to the show via remote. Hey, Paul, good to see you. How are you?
Hey, George, I'm good. How are you?
I'm awesome. So let's talk about Oroweat thin sliced. It is perfect. I have had it many times. You want to make a healthy choice. It's sustainable, and you know, why not include the bread?
Absolutely. I love this bread because not only is it sustainably baked, it's made here in Ontario, and it's perfectly portioned. So each slice only has 60 calories, and it's beautifully airy, and it actually has so much depth of flavor. So it makes great toasted sandwiches. It makes great fresh sandwiches. And today we're going to make an elegant curried chicken salad sandwich.
Oh, that sounds good. And you know what? You've made some for us, and we'll show those when you're done. But go ahead, walk us through it, Paul.
Okay, so today I'm using fresh Oroweat, but this sandwich can be made hot or cold. Okay. And I've made this beautiful curried chicken salad just with grilled chicken thighs, just salt, pepper, oil on the grill. And then I've mixed it with a little bit of mayonnaise, Madras curry powder, green onion, just sliced green onion, and a little bit of garlic. And that's all there is to it. And then you can make that fresh and serve it warm, like I said, or you can refrigerate it for later. And onto my Oroweat, I'm just putting some cucumbers, just a few slices. This is going to add a few layers of color and crunch, and then, a little radicchio. So because this is a rich chicken salad, sandwiches are rich. I like a little bitterness, just a touch of bitterness, and it adds that beautiful burgundy color. And then I'm layering on that beautiful golden, look at the color of that chicken salad.
It is gorgeous.
I'm telling you, it has big flavor with not too many ingredients. And using grilled chicken, of course, you know, if you don't have time, use rotisserie chicken, use leftover chicken. You know, that's the essence of chicken salad, right? It's like a day after kind of thing for a sandwich. And I'm just layering that on. And of course, this is optional too, but I love some sprouts right on top. I'm just adding some kale sprouts, you could add radish or broccoli sprouts or anything, just to add even more freshness to it, a little more crunch. And then I'm sandwiching that top layer on, and look at that beautiful sandwich there. And these slice nicely, and like I said again, you can make these hot with fresh grilled chicken or make it with leftover chicken, put them in the fridge, serve them cold. It's versatile, it's beautiful, and this bread is available at all major grocery retailers like Metro, Sobeys, Longo's, and of course, you can learn more by going and following them at Oroweat Canada on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. It's really a great company, and they have a focus on sustainability, which I love.
Yeah, you know what? It is an amazing story with Oroweat, and we're going to get a close-up of the ones that you pre-made and sent to us, Paul. And I really like the little pickle garnish on top, too. Beautifully done. You know, we talked to these folks back in the summer, and, you know, beyond how nutritious and delicious it is, they offset 100% of the energy they use to source, to mix and bake these grains by creating what they call green certificates, right? They repurpose all their waste as animal feed. And they also, back in June when we had them on the show, they introduced this unique seed paper bag as part of the clip. So you can, you know, do some home horticulture, or you can go in a cooperative garden, like in your neighborhood, like Alexander Park in Toronto, the Bowery Project, and you can start growing your own food based on what they are selling along with the packaging. It's just brilliant. Yeah. And again, I got to underscore this. Thin sliced, 60 calories. For people that count, that's low.
Yeah, totally. And for those people who maybe sort of gave up carbs in this post-COVID, you know, let's drop the COVID-20, this is a great way to reintroduce sandwiches, which we love, which I love. And you don't necessarily want to go ham on sandwiches, and you don't necessarily want that really thick, dense bread. This is a perfect choice for somebody who wants to reincorporate sandwiches into their work from home lunch or dinner for their families, or lunches to go to school. So it's a really versatile ingredient. I love it, and you should really go try it. It's wonderful.
Plain or toasted, it all works. I know you like all the jams. Real quick, where do people reach out for more on Oroweat and your demos on Instagram?
So at Oroweat Canada on all socials. And of course, I'm always sharing new recipes. I'll be sharing this recipe video today at Paul Lillikus on Instagram. So check that out for step-by-step instructions on how to recreate this at home.
Celebrity Chef Paul Lillikus. I'm going to dig in and send it to Sonia now for more.
Enjoy.
From Forza Azzurri to Forza Canada, Budweiser Zero has signed up international footballer Sebastian Giovinco to inspire Italian Canadians to come together and cheer on Canada at the 2022 FIFA World Cup. And he joins me now with also national team member Alistair Johnston. Guys, thanks for being here on the show.
Thanks for having us.
It's our pleasure to have you, and we're thrilled.
Thank you.
We're still like, I got to tell you, the excitement over the World Cup is just like over the top. So Sebastian, let's start with you. Tell us about this partnership with Budweiser Zero and Forza Canada. It's coming to Little Italy at the Diplomatico today, right?
Yeah, no, I'm for Italy to no World Cup. Yeah. So I decide to cheers for these guys, for Canadian team. So we are excited of this World Cup. Yeah.
It's very exciting. Alistair, how are you managing the butterflies, okay? I mean, 20 days until that first game against world number 2 Belgium in Qatar.
Yeah, we get off to a hot start, don't we?
I'll tell you.
Yeah, there's no layups here. But no, we're excited. We played some really good matches this past window, which was great to really prepare us with Qatar and Uruguay. Yeah. So we feel ready for the test. And at this point, you know, we qualified now back in March, and it's been just a long time just kind of sitting there, counting down the days. So we're really excited to finally get out there, flying over there. The whole team's kind of getting over there the next week or two. So no, it's really exciting. It's close now, and I'm hoping, you know, the whole country's also kind of feeling that energy, because we saw it throughout all of qualifying. You know, just the passion that was there. So yeah, no, it's finally time. So I hope everyone's ready for it.
Sebastian, you touched on it. I know it's maybe a touchy subject, but what happened to Italy? I mean, you win Euro, the country wins Euro, but then back-to-back World Cups. I just, you know, I'm mesmerized at how what didn't happen. Maybe
I don't know. I'm out from national team already 7-8 years, so I don't know what happened. Of course, there is problem, because if Italy don't make the World Cup, it's something big.
Yeah.
But now we have to think about be on the back of these guys for this World Cup. all together, and of course they will make the country proud.
They were well said. Alistair, look, I want to talk about the side's overall physical fitness and mental hygiene heading to Qatar. I mean, is it an overstatement to say that this is a golden generation for Canadian football, men's and women's?
Yeah, I think you look at what the women's national team's done over the past decade. They've really kind of set the bar really high for us, and it finally feels like we're finally carrying our weight, which is really nice. But yeah, I guess you could definitely look at it as almost a golden generation. It's our first time being in a World Cup in 36 years, only our second time ever. And obviously we're going to have 2026 as well. But the thing is for us is that we don't want this to be just a flash in the pan. We really want this to be something that changes the grassroots and the foundation of the sport in this country. We don't want it just to be one World Cup and done. We want this to be the building blocks, the beginning of continued success of the sport and the growth of it in this country, because we want to be not just a team that, makes it every once in a while, every 36 years. We want to be a team that's there every single time at every one of these major competitions, and eventually want to get to the point where, we're going in there with our heads really high and a lot of expectations that, we're not just going there in some people's eyes to go there, but no, we're going there to really, truly compete. And deep down, we feel like we are. But obviously, outside media, it's a little bit different.
Well, sure. But I mean, FIFA, you've climbed that ladder in terms of the national or the international rankings like no one else ever has in just a short span under Herdman. Sebastian, you've seen football flourish in this country. You're a part of it. You're so beloved in Toronto. And you still maintain a connection here, don't you?
Yeah. Actually, we are applied to become a citizen.
I didn't know. That's great.
My daughter born here, so we love to live in Toronto. For what I did, I think I'm happy to be.
He's more than an honorary Canadian now. He's more than an honorary Canadian.
Champion, MVP, 8-time All-Star. It's just remarkable what you've done. And people will say that this country has become a factory for basketball and for tennis. Now we're seeing maybe a football factory too, huh?
Yeah,
we're producing
since
so
I came in 2015 was not like now. It's growing a lot. So now with the national team to World Cup, I think is even bigger.
Yeah. And the Italian component for TFC very strong now with Insigne and Escali and Crescito. It's pretty impressive. Yeah. These three guys are going to make noise next year, right?
That's what everybody hope.
Yeah.
We'll see.
And a good season for you in Montreal, too, right?
Yeah, it was a good year. It was a really good year. We're normally in Toronto's shadow a little bit in the media world, but no, we came out, we surprised some people. No, it was a really good year. Unfortunate ending in the playoffs like that, but no, we're going to be back next year.
But your fan base, talk about the national team, but the fan base in Montreal is awesome.
Unbelievable.
And Toronto too. Gentlemen, thank you so much. Forza Canada, presented by Budweiser Zero. It's happening at the Dip. Cafe Diplomatico. I used to live around the corner from there, so my World Cup experience. Rocco Mastrangelo Jr., the owner, if you're watching, Rocco, thanks for doing this. It's at College in Clinton, 1 to 3 today. Come meet and greet these guys, right? Maybe they'll give you some tips.
Go wrong here. $25,000, here we come.
And then we get the Lambos?
Then we get those Lambos. How do you even know the money's here?
Of course the money's here. They keep it in the money room in the back.
All right, that is a sneak peek at Vandits. It's about a group of fumbling would-be robbers who decide to rob a senior citizens bingo hall on Christmas Eve. Really gives you all the feels. So joining us this morning now are Rob Wells, Adam Rodness, and Stu Stone, part of this ensemble cast here for Vandits. Gentlemen, thanks so much for being here, especially the morning after your premiere last night. There were supposed to be 4 guests.
Yes.
One of them didn't arrive. What's going on?
I don't know how to explain it, but when we had a premiere, and we told the other 4th guy, his name's Tony Napo. Tony, I don't know which camera I'm looking in here, but good morning.
Wake up, Tony.
Where the heck are you, Tony?
We're here.
And he didn't go to the after party.
No, he's the only
He
guy
said he
that...
wanted to be fresh this morning, so.
Well, he's going to be really fresh for whatever he does after 9 o'clock. But let's get into Vandits right now. Adam, whose idea was this? Because it's the plot is like kind of wacky.
It is kind of wacky. Stu and I have a very wacky life together. Actually, I married his sister, Dina.
Oh, wow.
So that's a whole different segment.
Okay, yeah, that's different kind of whack, yeah.
We have these insane ideas, and we came up with this about 5 years ago in 2016. Wrote the script. We were told that it was not going to work. It wasn't going to work on any level, I think, was what we were told. And then we had someone else read it. They said, "This is great." And we're like, we'll go with that opinion.
Right.
And yeah, 5 years later, we got the financing and some great partners, Hollywood Suite and Breakthrough, and our company 57 Films, and here we are.
Go ahead, Stu. I know you want to get in here.
We were like, there was a time when we were actually going and playing bingo at bingo halls.
Yeah.
And I went to like the midnight game. There's a place right on St. Clair. I'm sure people watching know it.
Yep.
And it was like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, man, I bet you could rob this place. That's sort of, we never robbed the place, but that's how the movie, how the movie sort of.
I mean, I remember in high school working like the bingo halls for charity. You'd come out completely reeking of smoke, etc. But there was a lot of cash flowing around. There's no doubt about that.
Yes.
But Rob, let's talk about this. It takes place on Christmas Eve.
Yep.
But is this a Christmas movie?
That's a good question. I think it's someone, Yes, yes it is.
Right.
People are going to watch it every Christmas. Yeah,
Right,
it's one of those movies that's...
What was it like to make? I mean, because again, the plot line is so like amusingly contrived. $25,000 Christmas Eve, kind of a stoner, bumbling gang of thieves.
It was a lot of fun. The cast was fantastic, and these guys were great, very talented, and just a lot of fun. We were like a big family there in Winnipeg, and it was good. Yeah. Really
and Jan Arden has a role in this. I noticed as well.
She was awesome.
We convinced her somehow to come out. I think like all the swear words in the script was what attracted her to come in this movie the most.
She's a good swearist.
It's the filthiest Jan Arden you'll ever see in a good way, but she pushes the envelope, and she was incredible to work with.
Yeah.
Enrico Colantoni as well.
Unbelievable.
Enrico, Jesse Camacho, Francesco Antonio, and Victoria Turco. Those were our leads. It was just incredible. Although all of our stuff got stolen the night before we went to production.
What do you mean all your stuff got stolen? Like your gear?
All of our gear. Everything was gone.
So the heist film gear was heisted, if that's even a word.
The irony was not lost on us.
I thought they were making that up. No.
Everyone did. Our parents didn't believe us. We did another movie called Faking a Murderer that came out last year, and we kind of pulled the wool over the people's eyes and kind of lost all of our credibility. So when this happened, everyone thought we were just crying wolf.
Right, but it really happened.
We have the police reports. They've been dug up, and it's true.
Before I let you guys go, Stu, I want to ask, you talked about the fact you had the premiere last night. How did it go over with the audience? What was the reaction like, and what was it like sitting there watching people watch your film?
It was incredible. Toronto is our hometown, and Rob was generous enough to come out here and join us in Toronto last night. It was insane. It was sold out. Everyone was laughing. It was just like this is why you make movies. And especially nowadays, people aren't used to necessarily going to the movies anymore. Go to the movies. It is way better than watching it at home.
Definitely.
And seeing it with a crowd, the energy was just incredible.
All right, Stu, Rob, Adam, appreciate your energy this morning. Tony,
Sorry,
couldn't make it. I don't know what happened.
I do have
there,
one.
but...
You can now replace Tony, be the honorary Vandit.
Look at that.
Okay, here you go.
Very nice. I should probably wear this more often. All right, gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. Good luck with Vandits.
Thank you.
And we'll take care. See you soon.
Playing
and Sonia, it's over to you. Where is it? Varsity?
It's playing at the Scotiabank Theater.